I made over $100,000 on Upwork last year, and it wouldn't have been possible without using SEO to get invited to more jobs. I went through months and months of trial and error, but eventually I gained a few key SEO secrets that helped me gain 66 invites in just 90 days. And these strategies haven't just worked for me. Carlo, an email copywriter, used them to go from zero to earning over $6,000 on Upwork. Jacob used these SEO strategies to earn $8,000 in just 6 weeks on Upwork. And Michael Loic used them to go from zero to earning over $10,000 on Upwork in less than 90 days. So in today's video, I'm gonna reveal the 6 SEO secrets you absolutely have to know if you wanna get your profile ranking nice and high in the search rankings. And if you stay until the end of the video, I'm gonna give you a checklist of how to get clients to click on your profile once you get it showing up nice and high in the search rankings, so you ultimately get way more invitations. So secret number 1 is to pack your title full of very commonly searched up phrases on Upwork. Now, the reason this is so important is because if I go on Upwork as a client and I search up Google ads, you're gonna see that everybody that's showing up high in the search rankings has the words Google ads, or at least one of the two, in their title. And so if we can pack our titles full of very commonly searched up phrases that clients are commonly searching up on Upwork, then we're gonna show up even higher in the search rankings. Now, I like to think this through in 3 main ways, and they all include putting yourself in your client's shoes and thinking what they would potentially search up on Upwork, right? So the first way is like a very general term, right? There's probably a general term for your service, like Google Ads, that kind of encapsulates your entire service, right? If you offer Google Ads, it would be Google Ads. Social media management is another example. Video editing, right? So a very general term they might be looking up. Now, the second way I like to think of this is that clients might be looking up a service that's a lot more specific, right? So in the video editing example, right, you'd have the video editing as kind of the general term overall, and we'd start your title with that. And also, like I said, clients might be looking up something more specific. So like short form video editing, short form video editor. And something really important to take into account here is that if you have the words, like 2 of the same words in your title, it's not gonna make any more difference, right? If you have the word Google ads and then Google ads, or just Google and Google multiple times, it's not gonna help you rank higher, right? We just wanna stuff your title full of very commonly searched up phrases. We don't need to make them the same, right? It's not gonna make a difference. And so in the example of video editing, that might be the first term in your title. Then you could put a vertical line and a space, and then you might write short form editor. Because again, the word editor and the word editing are 2 different phrases, and they will legitimately help you rank higher by including both of them. It'll help you rank higher in the search rankings, right? And so that's the second way I like to think about this. The third way is tools or platforms. Now, this entirely depends on what service you're offering, right? For some people, it'll be irrelevant, but some examples of this would be like if you run Google ads, like Google Analytics, or if maybe if you're a video editor, like CapCut, or if you're a web developer, maybe it's, Python, right? But finding a tool or a platform that's really, really important to your clients, and including that in your title is also really, really gonna help, right? And so that's kind of the process that I like to go through. And you can validate this by going on Upwork and searching up, the jobs. So if you run Google ads, search up Google ads, looking for jobs, and look through each job post and just look at the titles and the words that are being used in the job post. Are people really, really commonly using 1 or 2 phrases? If they are, that's probably a good bet to put into your title. Now, it's also really important to have commonly searched up phrases in your written introduction. And the reason for that is that when a client searches on Upwork, let's say they search Google ads, essentially what Upwork's algorithm is gonna do is they're gonna scan different parts of your profile for the words that the client just searched, right? And so having these commonly searched up phrases in our skill tags is really gonna help us. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Having them in the written introduction is gonna help us. Having them in the title is really gonna help us. And so just putting these in there, again, is gonna help you show up higher in the search rankings. Number 2 is gonna be skill tags. Now, like I just mentioned, skill tags play a really, really large role in helping you show up higher in the search rankings versus other people. And so the main thing here is you wanna have 15, so you can only put 15 skill tags into your main profile. And so you wanna make sure you have all 15 of those filled out, and you wanna make sure all 15 of those are commonly searched up phrases on Upwork. So as you can see here, I searched up the phrase JavaScript on Upwork, and every single freelancer that shows up on this top page has the skill tag JavaScript. Now, my favorite way to do this skill tag research and make sure that you do have 15 highly relevant skill tags in your main profile is just to go on Upwork and search for jobs that you would want to fulfill. So if you offer Google Ads on Upwork, search up Google Ads, scroll through the jobs, and when you come to one that you would want to actually have and fulfill, look at the skill tags that are on that job, because jobs have skill tags too. And if you're consistently seeing jobs that you would want to fulfill, and they consistently have like 3 or 4 of the same skill tags over and over and over again, then that's a pretty good idea. It's a pretty good bet to make that those are also going to be commonly searched up phrases on Upwork, and you should have those into your main skill tags on your main profile. Now, the other way to think through this is simply to go through the same process that we went through when we were optimizing your title. Right? So what are the general phrases that kind of encapsulate your service, like Google Ads, social media management, video editing? What are more specific phrases, like short form video editing? And then what are some tools or platforms, like maybe JavaScript, maybe CapCut, maybe Canva, maybe Instagram, that are also going to be really, really important to your clients? And if you put together this big list of, again, services, platforms, tools, and more specific services, you might have more than 15. And if that's the case for you, then just simply go on Upwork, like I said, search for jobs, and you can just pick the 15 ones that are most commonly showing up on these job descriptions. Now, in terms of your specialized profiles, you can essentially put unlimited amounts of skill tags into these specialized profiles. And so that's also going to help you rank higher in the search rankings. Just make sure that these are all relevant, right? You don't want to have irrelevant skill tags in each of your specialized profiles, because that's not going to help. And number 3 is that the more relevant completed jobs you have on your profile, the better. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean they all have to be really, really high amounts, but when I search on Upwork as a client, so if I search Google Ads on Upwork, you're going to see that all of the people who come up have this little line at the bottom of their preview, and it basically says how many completed jobs they have that are relevant to my search, right? So obviously, if a freelancer has 0 relevant jobs completed, that are relevant to my search, Upwork's not going to show that profile to the client who made the search, right? Because they don't think that that freelancer is more relevant than the other people, right? And so just having lots of very relevant completed jobs is really going to help you show up higher. Now, the other really crucial aspect to this is that you need to do a good job on these projects. Because you can see if I search up, let's say JavaScript on Upwork, you can see all of the profiles that come up, with the exception of the ones that are boosted, because that's a paid ads feature. But with the exception of that, all of the profiles that organically show up have a very, very high JSS score, right? It's 100, it's 99, 98, 97, right? Like a very, very high job success score. Because if you think about Upwork's motive and how Upwork makes money, they make money with clients, right? That's fundamentally how they make money. If they don't have clients, they don't have any money. And so they want to keep clients happy, right? That's their goal. And if you can just provide a good service and Upwork knows that, hey, this freelancer gets a lot of jobs, he's consistently providing a good service, getting 5-star feedback, getting reviews, they're going to show your profile to everybody that they can because they want to keep their clients happy. Number 4 is boosting your profile. Now, this isn't an organic way to get more views and show up higher in the search rankings, but it can work depending on your scenario. Now, I'm not referring to the availability badge. I ran a pretty extensive test with that and saw essentially no difference for views or ranking. I'm referring to the feature above your video introduction on your profile that says Boost Profile. And essentially, like we just saw in the previous search rankings, what this does is it unorganically makes your profile show up higher when clients search up phrases that are relevant to your services. And so essentially you pay more connects. So it's a paid ads feature, right? You're going to pay connects, and in return, Upwork's going to show your profile to more clients in the search results. Now, like I said, the effectiveness of boosting your profile really, really depends on where you're at in your Upwork journey, right? If you have $0 earned on your profile, you don't have any badges, you don't have a JSS score, then even if Upwork shows your profile to a lot of people, clients are going to be a lot less likely to click on it, right? Just because it looks less enticing. If you compare that to an Upwork freelancer who's earned $1 million on Upwork, they're expert vetted, they have a 100% job success score, clients are going to be a lot more likely to click on their profile. And so boosting their profile is going to be a lot more effective, right? And so this really depends on where you're at in your Upwork journey. But if you've earned like over $1,000, then I would say you can start experimenting with boosting your profile. It might work for you, it might not, but again, it's definitely going to be worth testing if you do meet that previous criteria. Now, number 5 is incredibly simplistic, but also incredibly important. And it's just to complete every single aspect, every single section of your entire profile. Now, Upwork put these there for a reason, right? They didn't just put each section on your profile because they think it's fun. They want you to fill them out. And if you do fill them out, they're gonna show your profile to more and more people. And it's an important distinction to make here that if you click on the home screen of Upwork, and on the right-hand side, you'll see a little bar that says the percentage completeness of your profile. So that just doesn't need to be 100%, because even if you fill out like 90% of the sections of your Upwork profile, that bar will still be at 100%. It's a weird distinction, right? You need to have every single section, your written introduction, your video introduction, your skill tags, your employment history, your other experiences, like every single section of your entire Upwork profile completed. And if you do that, I promise you, Upwork is gonna show your profile to more and more people. And like I said in the beginning, number 6 is gonna be a checklist that you can immediately implement to get people to click on your profile once your profile is showing up nice and high in the search rankings. Now, the first step is to have a really, really high quality profile picture, right? Because if you think about it, in this little preview, clients just get to see your profile picture, the first few sentences of your written introduction, they get to see your skill tags, and they get to see your title. Right? They don't get a ton of information. And so if you can have a really, really high quality profile picture, that compared to having like a bad profile picture where, you're not smiling, your face isn't centered, it's low quality photo, it's grainy, like your hair is messed up, you're not wearing a nice shirt, like compare those two, right? If you're the second option, people are just not gonna wanna click on your profile. But if you have a really high quality, professional looking photo that's looks nice, you dress well, you smile, your face is centered, then more people are gonna click on your profile. The second one is, like we already mentioned, have a descriptive title, right? And so you wanna include a general phrase, more specific phrases, and if it's applicable, some tools or platforms. The third step is gonna be to optimize the first 200 to 250 characters of your written introduction. Because like I just said, when that little preview shows up on the client's screen, when they're searching for Google Ads freelancers or whatever, then they only get to see the first 200 to 250 characters of that written introduction of your main profile. That's the little preview. So ideally, you wanna include some social proof in here, right? So if you have spent $100 million on ads over the last 7 years, mention it immediately, because again, really, really impressive stuff. So put the juiciest, most impressive kind of statistics or achievements that you have at the beginning of your profile, because that's really gonna help. Even if it's just like, I have over a decade of experience in, whatever, and then you list your services, just having something like that will also really, really help. Another few ideas for social proof to include in the beginning of your proposal would be like big companies you've worked for, right? So if you signed a deal with Tesla, if you signed a deal with Google, right? Mention that in the beginning of your written intro. It's really impressive. It'll get more clicks. The other thing to mention is like number of projects you've completed. If you worked on over 300 projects, again, really, really impressive stuff. Other things that will help are gonna be 100% job success score. Just make sure you're doing a really good job for these clients. The top rated plus, expert vetted badges are also really, really gonna help you. Of course, the more money you've earned on Upwork, that will also help you a lot because it's just more and more credibility. And as we discussed, the more jobs you've completed on Upwork that are relevant to their search, the better, because it's gonna display on this little preview. And that's all I've got for this Upwork SEO video. If you like this video and you want even more guidance to help you scale your freelance or agency business with Upwork, then feel free to click the link in the description and you can join our premium Upwork community 100% free on a 7-day trial.